y'all, and welcome back to yet another video. Today we're going to be talking about parents who can't accept when they're wrong. To start off this video, I would like to start off by saying, no, I'm not a parent. Obviously, I don't plan on having kids in the future, and I don't have any kids now. But I like to say that kids are smart, kids are diligent, and kids, most of the time, they know what they're doing. And a kid will do anything, absolutely anything, to get their way the majority of the time as well. Does that mean that they're always wrong? No. Does that mean that they're always right? No. But today we're going to be experiencing and talking about that gray area in between where a kid maybe they're right. And as a parent, what would you do and how would you react in that situation? Okay, so first I'm going to be starting off by talking about my personal experiences with working with children. I have about 3 years of experience in child care, whether that be child education, children's therapy. I have something in that area. So I've had my experiences with children. Outside of that, I've babysat. I've dealt with kids. I have a niece. I have cousins. I grew up with kids, so it's not like I don't know exactly what I'm talking about, because there will be people out there, oh, if you don't have kids, you don't know how it is, or oh, you're too young to understand. So within this video, I'm going to be bringing about a personal situation to kind of relate to this topic and to kind of bring in a little bit of insight about myself. So, growing up as a kid, I had one parental figure, not my mother. My mother is lovely. Let's start off by saying any negative connotations or negative comments about my mom will not be tolerated. But I will say that I did have a parental figure who always believed that he was in the right. That means if you were in a situation where he was wrong, he wouldn't be able to admit to that. An example of that would be, say there were snacks in the cabinet that you did not have access to, or that you should not have had access to without asking this parental figure. If he thought you stole the snacks, say you didn't steal the snacks, he thought you stole some of the snacks one day, you could be like, no, I didn't take any snacks, I didn't steal any snacks. And it would be a situation where he would keep interrogating you for an hour to try and get an answer out of you. Even if you didn't, he wouldn't stop until he got the answer he wanted. So it could be like, you could be saying no, you didn't, but it would be like a kind of threatening situation where it'll be like, admit what you did. I know what you did. We're not gonna stop talking until you admit what you did. Either way, if you tell the truth, you're gonna get punished for it. And if you give him what he wanted you to hear, or what he wanted to hear himself, you're still getting punished, because he's gonna be like, why did you take so long to admit this? Well, first of all, there was nothing to admit. I've been telling you the truth this whole time. But he would not give in until he got the answer he wanted, pretty much. I don't know if this was because of egocentrism. I don't know if this was a form of narcissism. I don't know if it was his ego. I don't know if it was his pride. But in that situation, I think growing into adulthood, that would create things with me like having anxiety, social issues, self-doubt, and lots of things that developed from that situation from my childhood. So, other than my personal experience, we're going to be looking into some Reddit stories about parents who couldn't admit when they were wrong. Okay, so this is one story that I'm looking into. It has about 350 upvotes. It's made from this person called Raised by Narcissists. It was posted from about 9 years ago. It says, anyone else had parents who couldn't admit when they were wrong, and use the "you're just a kid" excuse. It says, here are more quotes I would hear. You teenagers think you know everything. We do this because we care about you. And do you ever think about what you say? One of the biggest reasons behind my massive social anxiety. Thanks, Mom. Some of the replies are, let me start off with some short replies. There are some huge replies in here. I'm not going to read all of that. Some of these are quite ironic that they know less than most people their age and somehow manage to have a superiority complex while treating everyone else like children who knows even less than they do. Pants on. Head level of crazy, I tell you. Yes, it's funny when you realize that you have passed the emotional age that your parents have been most of your whole life. What I can say about this is, and agree that there have been a lot of situations from my childhood, and I believe from many other of your childhoods, parents will use the excuse of, you think you know everything. You don't know anything. You're too young to understand. You'll understand when you're an adult. In a lot of those situations, they are correct, but there are plenty of situations where they're not correct. And it's just an excuse to, kind of feed their ego. Let's see. Let me find another comment that's very highly upvoted. Someone else said that they got a comment from their parents. Yes. Except I'm sorry, I'm such a bad parent. I'm sorry that I wasn't a good enough mother to you. And they said that their parent was taking a trip on the guilt train. In my opinion, that does kind of feel like manipulation tactics. Because it's like, just because you're wrong doesn't make you a bad parent. And just because your child has a reason to express themselves and they're expressing how you're making them feel doesn't make them a bad kid. It doesn't mean that they think lowly of you. It just means that there has been a situation where you need to resolve that situation and you need to find some sort of middle ground, or simply just admit that you're wrong and apologize. This doesn't make you a bad parent. This doesn't make your child a bad child. This just means you have to have some form of acceptance. And instead of acceptance, it seems like this parent in this case is just, like they said, guilt tripping the child to kind of make it a little bit harder for them to stand up for themselves. Let me read another comment. This one from Judy Perrin says, "Oh, all the time, even when I had proof on my side that I was right, if someone backed me up, they were wrong too. If something was wrong in a book, well, the book was wrong." He also became the world's expert on any subject the instant he discovered it. So very tedious. So there we're going back again with some of that pride and ego. Okay, here's the next post. Have your parents ever admitted that they were wrong about something? By millennials. And this one says, due to some recent events, my parents have said without saying that they were wrong about a handful of things while I was growing up, and it's making me question a lot about my childhood. Have your parents ever done this? Our first comment is from Your Pants Fell. It was about a year ago. It says, my mom will apologize but make herself the victim while doing so. So we're going back to the victim mode. We're going back to guilt tripping. We're going back to making your child feel wrong about expressing their feelings. This is crazy. So I think there have been so many people here who have experienced these type of situations. Here's another one. It's a backhanded apology, actually. It's from Jabless Magic Boom from about a year ago. And she said, her mother said sorry plenty times. It wasn't an apology though. It was a sorry you feel that way type of I'm sorry. Big oof. Here's another comment from Red Mambo NO6 from about a year ago. He says, my dad will admit when he screws up. On the other hand, my mom took her philosophy of I'm always right and you're not to the grave with her. It got so messed up and she'd even argue with the doctors on her deathbed. That's a crazy amount of stubbornness. Someone else who deleted their account said, my dad died before he could ever, admit that he was wrong. And my mom used his death to double down on everything. This is insane. Okay, I think I'm gonna go down to another post. Dang, Raised by Narcissists got so many posts. Here is from the subreddit rRant. Why do parents never admit that they're wrong? They just continue to argue and then to turn to things that have nothing to do with what you're saying. I raised you. I brought you into this world. I can take you out. I'm the parent. You're the child. I'm older than you. I know more about the topic than you ever will at your age. I put a roof over your head, clothes on your back, and food on the table. So basic things that a parent is supposed to do. This is just basic common expectations. Like, why have a child if you think that everything that you do for them, that's like the bare minimum, is supposed to be something special? It says the list goes on and on. I asked my parents if I could correct them, and they literally said no. I was telling them loopholes in the punishment I thought I deserved. It's illogical and it hurts the child. Just apologize and admit that you're wrong. It's not that hard. It's better than making your child dislike asking you things. They ask why you don't ask them to help you on the math test, yet the last time you did it, you ended up with you having a panic attack because your dad wrote the formula wrong and won't admit it. He says it's right, but guess what? It wasn't. The child was right. The formula was wrong. Now your child is scared of you, won't come to you for help, and is probably questioning if they're stupid. Good job on being a beep. Some don't even apologize. It amazes me how some people have so much pride that they can't apologize for screaming at their child until they're bawling their eyes out. I couldn't have said it better myself. This is just from our rant. I think my take on this is they broke it down ABC. 1 + 1 = 2. Reese's, you have something to say? Oh, my little buddy has something to say. There is Mr. Reese's who has so much to say. You got so much to say. Talk to the mic. What you got to say? You got so much to say. I'm gonna talk to the peoples and give them your words. Reese's said he agrees with everything that our rant said. Anyways, back to the discussion. So I couldn't have said it better myself, our rant. Even when it comes to equations, like breaking down a literal equation. Your parent is supposed to be teaching you this problem, but you know better than them because you've been actively being taught this in school. And they say you're doing it wrong, so you go back and all of a sudden what they taught you is actually wrong and how you should have done it would have been right. Too much coffee. Hold on. I gotta take some more. Pause. Pause. Pause.
What? We're flying to Philadelphia!
Hamdele. Tiki, my tiki guitar. Tiki, my tiki guitar. Okay, back to the topic. So that was our rants. Let's see what else we got. This is from the subreddit Unpopular Opinions. Parents that punish their kids for being disrespectful or being a smart beep or talking back when in reality their kids are right. Or prove their parents wrong, just aren't raising their kids right. And I have those parents. Sadly, parents need to admit when they're wrong to their children. Yeah, the trauma that comes with knowing this wasn't just a few households. This was a million and maybe every household on Earth with narcissistic parents. That is sadly a very common thing. Tiki, 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 guitar, guitar. Tiki, 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 my tiki, guitar. Don't judge me. You're not here to judge me. You're here to listen to my opinion and to share yours in the comment section. And if you choose not to, well, I wouldn't blame you.
God, bro. Oh, hell no, man.
Okay, here's a comment from Katora from about 5 years ago. And she says, I don't think this is unpopular. Well, Katora, I couldn't agree more. This is way more common than I thought. After being on Reddit for about maybe 15 or 20 minutes, what the Sigma? And this is the OP replying. I mean, it's not, but there are a lot of parents who would disagree by saying kids shouldn't question their parents, or we know more because we're older than you, or something like that. So that's what I said this is on here. Tell me, have you ever seen the show Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Now tell me again. Why would that show exist if there were people who were always smarter than fifth graders? If every adult was smarter than a fifth grader, why would this be controversial? Why would this be something that the large media is able to question and turn into a show? If it weren't possible, it just isn't possible. Ooh, we got a lot of users deleting their comments. I think a lot of people regret what they say in the future. Or maybe they're just a little nervous that their parents might see this and think very badly of them. This person from Deleted has said, let me give you an example. I have never ran through a red light in my life, but if I even got remotely faster than 2 miles per hour over the speed limit, my mama threatens to whoop my beep and starts cursing at me, and I'm 21. Oh my gosh, let me silence this. Somebody is blowing up my phone right now. This is not okay. I'm doing a video. Yet, my mom ran a red light yesterday, 10 seconds after it turned red because she was texting and driving. Okay, this is double standard, y'all. So you gonna beat your child because at the age of 21, so they're a fully grown adult, you are gonna beat your child from going remotely close to running a red light. And yeah, you ran a red light and you were texting and driving, which is very negligent and which people die from on the daily. Explain this, please. It says, my mom is always texting and driving, and every time I step a foot in her car, I pray to God I'm not gonna die. My mom somehow justifies this and tells me to get off my beep. But to most parents, if their child is right, they call that disrespect. I'm gonna make this very simple and sweet by saying, your mom runs red lights. Your mom gets mad at you for even being remotely close to doing what she said you told you not to do. So I'm trying to process this. I'm trying to process how this could. So your mom is a hypocrite. Anyways, this is a comment from somebody who actually does have a controversial opinion on this post. It's from Umala Daddy O. Oh, I don't know how to say that username, and I'm not gonna try. Their excuse for the parents is, it's meant to teach children the lesson that sometimes life is gonna be obviously unfair. It also provides them with a better sense of how to cope and overcome those situations more easily. So teaching your children how to cope is by teaching them that they're not always going to get their way, or they're not always going to, kind of be heard out. But it is not teaching them to stand up for what they believe in and stand up for what they know deep down inside in their heart is right. So by teaching your child self-doubt, you're teaching them that they're not always going to get their way, or that life is unfair. When life is unfair, I say, you make it fair. I say, this is how the world has run for many years. How do you overthrow a tyrannical government? Do you just sit by and let them make all the rules? Computing. You just sit by and let them make all the rules and regulations while everyone else suffers? Or do you stand up and put your foot down for what's right? America, America, my home. Such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thought. Just stand up for what's right. Anyways, I think I went along with these comments enough. I'm about to be reading my last post, and then we're going to be taking this video to a close. This is from the subreddit R Parenting. Can parents admit that they're wrong? I, 30 male, have an 8-month-old, and I've had my parents staying with me to help out. And because of COVID, they essentially live here. Okay, so this is a post from a while back. Anyways, I had an argument with my mom about where she places my daughter. I simply said to her that I would feel more comfortable if you placed her blanket to cover anything before placing her down. I thought it wasn't such a big deal. Boy, was I wrong. She quickly picked my daughter up like she had explosive diarrhea and handed her to me. So you're scared of the child? It seems you shouldn't be handling this child, it seems. Long story short, I told her that she can be wrong and I can offer up constructive criticism. She said she can never be wrong. And that I will see that once my daughter criticizes me. In this case, I don't think that I'll be this unreasonable. Has anyone else experienced this, or is a parent... Hold on. Let me compute this because this sentence is a little confusing. Has anyone else experienced this? Is a parent or to your parents? Thanks. That was a little bit hard to read. Reese's, Marshmallow, do you understand how confusing this is? Oh, you flipped your house. Let me help my business out. You flipped your house. Why did you do that? I'm so sorry. And here's an edit. The conversation ended with her saying that the biggest mistake was giving birth to me, so that's nice to hear. So let me get this straight. Your parents are living with you to help out. And they're supposed to be taking care of your daughter. And a part of taking care of your child is making sure that you're comfortable with everything that they're doing with your child and that your child is safe. And all you asked was for them to put a blanket down for your child to be on before placing her down on a mat or placing her down on any surface. And so your parents' response to that is that, let me read this again to make sure that I'm not tripping, is that it was a mistake giving birth to you. You need to cut them parents off, honey. This is not okay. This is not okay. Okay, here's a response from CityChick88. It's super healthy to be able to admit that you are wrong. It models this behavior for children. We apologize for our mistakes to our children. We talk to them through the process. Sometimes we will reflexively say no to something, and when I think about it, realistically, it's actually fine. So I will tell my child I was wrong, and after talking about it, I changed my mind that they can do or have XYZ. Okay, but the issue is not telling your child no, or in this case, your adult man-child with a child, no. The issue is, this is his child. He's directing you on how you want to handle your child, or how he wants you to handle his child. And instead of respectfully accepting how your child would like you to handle his child, in order to respectfully take care of his child in the way that he would be comfortable with, you deflect by making him seem like he's a villain, by saying that he's the issue and you shouldn't have given birth to him. What's wrong with people? Oh Lord, this video is starting to get very intense. Yeah, I can't make excuses for these people no more. Okay, to all my people who are watching, I would like to end this video off by saying, you give respect to get respect. Even a child needs a certain level of respect. We understand that in a household where you are a parent and a child is a child should stay in a child's place, but that doesn't mean that you're always right. I'm no one's boss. I'm no one to tell you how to parent. But I'm just giving advice from my perspective, so you can choose to follow, you can choose to ignore. But to have a healthy relationship with your kid, I would suggest that you maybe listen to them, if not to me. Anyways, it's so good to see all these people on Reddit sharing their experiences, and as well as me sharing my own. I hope you all have a lovely day, and I hope anyone who is out here experiencing this feels that there's a safe space somewhere in their life for them to express themselves. Goodbye, and thank you for watching.